Hey everybody, my name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. I wanted to thank you for listening to this episode of The Morning Show. I'm the creator, the producer, and the host of the show. We want you to check out our website. It's themorningshowwithnatalie.com. You can go to that website. You can see all about our sponsors, all about the show. You can even listen to live episodes while they're going on right there from the website. Another way to listen to the show live is go to Live 365. You can download that app and just search for The Morning Show. It's right there. Super easy. We want you to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel, if you will. That way you can keep up with what's going on The Morning Show.
My name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. You are listening to The Morning Show. It's a big day for our featured artist of the week. It's always a big day when a new album comes out. And I'm glad that they have chosen to spend the morning with us. We're talking about the Troy Burns family. Welcome back to The Morning Show, Troy and Tammy Burns.
Thank you, Natalie. It's an honor to be here. And anytime somebody plays gospel music and pushes God's word in song, we love it.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to cheer you guys on. Yeah.
Do you realize you're the first interview we're doing for the new project?
Woo! That makes me happy, Tammy. I appreciate that. Yeah, we like that kind of stuff.
No problem. We appreciate you.
Well, we had you on the show about a year and a half ago. I went back and looked, and it was last April, and lots has happened since then. So we want to know, is all well with the Troy Burns family?
All is well. We've got since then we hired a new baritone singer from Strawberry Plains, Tennessee. His name is Daniel Neal. He has a wife and 4 kids, all under 6. He has his own motorhome. He travels. They all go with us everywhere we go and sing. And so, yeah, he's a talented musician, great singer, and so we're excited to have him on board with us.
I bet you are. That's fantastic. So we've had a little change there.
6 months.
About 6 months.
Yes.
That's great. Maybe we'll get to meet him at the NQC. All right, let's talk about this project. We're excited about it. I'm excited about it. It's called Then and Now, and this is a throwback project to some of the hits from the Inspirations. Now, we've got to start out pretty basic here because, Troy, we've got some listeners who are new to Southern Gospel. They've just got on board, and they may not understand the connection here. So let's just start out, and can you give a brief breakdown of why you even had a motive to do the project to begin with?
So at the beginning of 1964, there were 4 of us teenage boys from Bryson City, North Carolina. We loved to sing just around the piano, and we pulled a song out of the songbook, Jesus is Coming Soon. And we were the first group to ever record that. And it went #1. Here we were teenagers in school and had a #1 song. And we had a lot of good breaks. People like Les Beasley put us on the Gospel Singing Jubilee. We were on that show for 15 years, had 3 million viewers every Sunday morning. And so we became a top group, I guess you would say, in sales and in popularity. I was with that group for 30 years. And when I retired, Tammy and I started singing. We've been singing now for 12 years. And we got to looking back at some of the songs that I had recorded during that time. And a friend of mine who keeps a catalog on all that kind of stuff, I contacted him and I said, I need a list of all the songs that featured me during those 30 years. Well, he sent me over 100 songs.
Yeah.
So of those 100 songs, we finally narrowed it down to 10. And there are a couple of old convention type songs, like Bend Away Down Low, What a Wonderful Day, Old Camp Meeting Time. And then it's the songs like Jesus Coming Soon, Ronnie Henson's song, God is Still on His Throne, Joyce Croft and Colbert's song, The First Million Years. And so we went back and took 10 of those and re-recorded them as the Troy Burns family. And so we're pretty excited. We're pumped about it. It's totally a different sound, but it's a totally different direction for the Troy Burns family, because we do all new stuff. We don't do any cover songs at all in our set, but these are retro throwback stuff, and it's pretty exciting.
There is a time in my life I remember so well, when God gave me salvation and saved my soul from hell. I fell on my knees at an altar of prayer. He washed me so completely while I was kneeling there. It was an old camp meeting time. I could hear those church bells chime. Those golden stairs I felt I could climb. There at that old camp meeting time. The preacher preached a sermon about how the Savior died, about how he looked toward heaven and to his Father cried. I couldn't wait no longer, so down the aisle I went. I had to find this Jesus that God in heaven sent. It was an old camp meeting time. I could hear those church bells chime. Those golden stairs I felt I could climb. There at that old camp meeting time. I heard them sing, I heard them pray, I heard them tell about the way the preacher preached. The saints would shout while he would tell us all about amazing grace, how sweet the sound, and also how he could be found. We could be free, no longer bound. There at that old camp meeting time. There at that old camp meeting time.
You should be excited about this. This is some good stuff. And you know, with the inspirations being as hot as they are, because those little guys are on fire right now, I think this is perfect timing. I mean, it's all
Yeah.
They
just
just went back. They went back and did exactly what the guys did in when they
70s.
started.
The new
The
guys.
new guys. They
Isn't
sound
that-
just like them.
Yeah.
It sounds just like them. And in my opinion, you know, you've had some classic voices in the inspirations through the years. We all know that. But Troy, I would be so bold as to say I'm not sure that they've ever sounded any better as a
haven't.
whole. You know, the group
No.
as a whole, as they sound today. What do you think?
No, they haven't. They've not. And,
We love those
and
guys.
and the fact that they took those exact arrangements that we did, and the piano lyrics and the exact arrangement, way we said our words, the way we dressed, everything about it is it's encouraging. We love them.
It's almost a novelty,
it
really, to
is.
watch it. It's
Well, they've taken the gospel music world by storm, like they took the gospel music
we did the
world by
same
storm.
thing.
Exactly.
Back in the 70s, we did the same thing.
They'd get on a stage, and 30 minutes later, they wouldn't. At the last song, they wouldn't let them off.
It's hard to describe, and some of the newer kids that around the block in gospel music that they can't quite get it. You know, when we were in that position and on TV, it was like, the best way to describe it is if today a Southern gospel group was on America's Got Talent and won America's Got Talent. The hoopla and the fanfare that they put around you, and when you go home, you know, all that. When we would drive home after a concert, after a weekend, we'd drive home, and where we parked our bus, people would be out of their cars, backed up for a block and a half to get our autograph as we got off the bus.
Isn't that something?
And it was like these kids today, it's the same thing. It's like a novelty type thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe. And if you were trying to put another one exactly like them together, you couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
It just happens.
I tell you, Roland Kesterson was a big part in what happened. The God really used him, because he when the shutdown happened, he'd call me, Tammy, I need some dates, and I'd give him some
During COVID.
during COVID, you know. And so he pushed and pushed and pushed, and I tell you, when the NQC in, I guess 2020 or 2020, I guess, is when they really hit the stage and people just went, okay, these guys are for real.
Well, these songs that we sing, it has a lot of sound like I sounded way back then, you know.
You sound as good right now as you've ever sounded, Troy. You really do. I mean, you sound
Crazy.
It's really something to listen
He's
to.
going on 72 years old. He's the baby of the guys that started out. He and Archie are the only two.
And you're as smooth. I mean, it's a smooth, solid sound. It's really something to listen to you. It's very impressive.
God's really blessed me with health and being able to travel with a full-time group now with our family and sing these songs. You know, it's I would hate not the right word. I would dread if I had to if I had to go on stage and do a full stand with those young guys. Now that would be a workout. And try to keep up with them for an hour. But
you know what? He can go on there and keep up with them for 4 or 5 songs, because we do that. We sing with them sometimes in concert, and he plays the same bass behind them when he's not singing as he started with. That's the first bass ever y'all played, right?
Yeah.
And Troy played it, and so he'll go out there and he'll sing some songs, and I bet you could stay with him for 30 minutes.
Maybe.
I think you could.
That's pretty good.
We have. I mean, we were in Alabama.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
What's that I hear? Is that the sound of a trumpet? Soon the eastern sky will part, and I'll see his face. Men often dream of faraway lands with strange sounding names. Oh, but it seems each time I dream, it's much the same. I see a place where I have never been before, with white pearly gates and a father who waits just inside the door. What's that I hear? Is that the sound of a trumpet? I feel the touch from a much better place. And if I am dreaming, please don't wake me. Soon the eastern sky will part, and I'll see his face. Now this old world, with all of its charm, has no place for me. Is that white shining throne in my new home I long to see? I spend my days in much the same way. I wait for the sound. Soon my hand will be raised with a shout of praise, headed for higher ground. What's that I hear? Is that the sound of a trumpet? I feel the touch from a much better place. And if I am dreaming, please don't wake me. Soon the eastern sky will part, and I'll see his face. What's that I hear? What's that I hear? Is that the sound of a trumpet? I feel the touch from a much better place. And if I am dreaming, please don't wake me. Soon the eastern sky will part, and I'll see his face.
Talking about this new project, the quality is spectacular. Now it's heavy Southern gospel, and you use the word retro. It's got a retro feel because that's what we're after. The album is called Then and Now. So, I mean, we're trying to pull out the old sound, but it's masterfully done. And I just wanted to point out that you guys recorded this just like your other projects at Chapel Valley, and that's Shane Roark, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right. We, when we got ready to do the basic setup for the project, he spent like 2 days, and I went up there with him, and he said, look, I have to totally set this up different. The parameters and everything have to be set up differently because of the different style that y'all are singing on this.
Yeah. I imagine so.
How did you like our, I came up with this, and if you like it, it was my idea, and if you don't, it's Troy's idea. The song that we needed a song for then and now. So that's why we put Jesus is Coming Back. And
you know what? I had
together.
that, Tammy, I had that listed here. That threw me off because I thought I got to that and I thought, I had no idea that was an old song. And I was in my mind, I was trying to place that with the inspirations, and I thought, this is not possible. It is not possible.
No, it's a new, contemporary song.
I heard the Heath Brothers. You know, I've played it on my show by the Heath Brothers. And so, I finally came to that conclusion. It did take me a minute. It took me a minute, and then I went, I see what they've done here. This is an analogy of the whole album. And so once I realized what was going on, I thought it was very, very smart. And I loved what you did. That one little brief moment where you heard something new in the midst of all of the classic stuff. So that was your idea, Tammy?
That was
you liked it. So yes, it's my idea, Natalie. It was my idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked it. The cover too is really a neat cover. Troy said, I want to wear that the yellow tuxedo. Those that are new don't realize they had yellow and powder blue tuxedos they wore in the early 70s. Yeah. I think 73 maybe is when they started wearing those. And so we put on the top, we blanked out the other guys, but Troy in his yellow tuxedo. And then at the bottom, he had a yellow tuxedo, and we were kind of like they were positioned in that photo. That wasn't really a photo. That was they were really singing on stage, and a photographer captured that on the Gospel Singing Jubilee.
That was a live action shot right there.
That was a live action shot. That was an amazing live action shot.
Yeah, I hope people will order this CD. Tammy, can they get it on the website today? If they go out to your website, they can order it, right?
They can go to troyburnsfamily.com, troyburnsfamily.com, or they can just call our office, and that number's if you're like me, sometimes I don't like to go on websites.
You just want to talk to somebody.
I like to talk to somebody. I'm old school, and that's 828-736-1982. 828-736-1982.
Okay. So we want you to order this because it is a beautiful CD. You're going to love the cover of it. It's very nostalgic. And then on the back, they have a big write-up that you're going to want to read too. So a lot of time and effort went into the cover and the graphic of the project. So we want you to see that for sure. All right. Here's my favorite one on the whole project. Now, they're all fantastic, but this one is just easy listening. And I think this is the one that when I got to the end, I hit play back. You know, I just want to go back and listen to it again. It's called Bend Away Down Low. I love it. Here it is.
That's an old one.
It is. I love it. Here it is.
When troubles worry you, and your heart is heavy, weary and sad, when sorrow is your lot, on this lonesome road, take up the grand old cross, tell salvation's story, tell it aloud till Jesus says enough. Bend away down low, lift your heavy load, it's a mighty long road, to the pearly gates. Keep moving along, heaven surely waits, for you waits. When trouble comes to you, and here.
Don't look for heaven here.
Heaven's way up yonder.
Farther away.
There's trouble everywhere.
There's trouble everywhere.
In this low abode.
In this low abode.
This cloak of lowliness.
This cloak of lowliness.
And this coat of sorrow
That you now wear will vanish with the dawn.
bend away down low.
Lift your heavy load. Lift your heavy load. It's a mighty long road.
It's a mighty long road
to the pearly gates. Keep moving along. Heaven surely waits. Heaven for you waits.
When trouble comes to you,
When trouble comes to you,
and your heart is heavy,
weary and sad, He'll give you courage new.
bend away down low.
Lift your heavy load. Lift your heavy load. It's a mighty long road.
It's a mighty long road
to the pearly gates. Keep moving along. Heaven surely waits. Heaven for you waits.
When trouble comes to you,
When trouble comes to you,
and your heart is heavy,
weary and sad, He'll give you courage new.
bend away down low. Lift your heavy load.
Lift your heavy load.
I know our time's running out, but I want to mention one more song briefly in particular. I'm so glad you put this one on the project. I remember when it came out, it was a mega song. I'm guessing about 30 years ago. Y'all can probably tell me exactly when it came out. But I love the one that says all across the country needs the cross.
Mid-80s.
Yeah, that was the mid-'80s.
Mid-80s.
Okay, so I said 30 years ago. Well, I missed it a little. It'd be
About
over.
year.
Nearly 10 years, nearly 40
Sorry.
years ago.
Okay,
38.
so okay, I missed it about 8 years. Sorry about that. It all starts running together.
Oh, yeah.
Just gets-
70s,
Well,
80s, 90s.
the song was appropriate then, and it's appropriate now, wouldn't you say?
It is.
More so now than ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
We thought it was bad then, but we were living in a utopia then about it.
Yeah,
Compared
keep-
to now.
Yeah. When you get up and sing this song, this specific song in front of an audience now, does it mean something different to you today than it did 40 years ago?
Seems like 40 years ago is when our real troubles that we experience today actually began in our universities and colleges. And when it seems like 40 years ago is when a lot of ultra liberal professors started brainwashing freshman college students. And those people now are the ones with families and grown children, just about grown.
Yeah.
And so they make the decisions in our government and in our make policies in local schools and stuff. And so 40 years ago, we weren't faced with these kind of problems. We had some drug problems. We had vandalism. We had those kind of things that could be fixed somewhat. But the brainwashing and the directions that our country and our kids and our grown-ups have gone is totally different. And it's a different set of problems. So when I sing The Country Needs a Cross today, in my mind, I'm looking at a different world we live in.
Well, the entire culture has changed, hasn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, completely different. Well, I'll say this about Troy Burns. He was ringing out the message that the country needs the cross about 40 years ago, 50 years ago, however many years ago, and he's still ringing out the message with his family today. Hey, guys, you have a friend right here on the morning show. I hope you won't forget that.
Thank you. We appreciate it, Natalie.
And I pray that you consider us friends as well, because we appreciate you, Natalie, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, I'm going to see you next week. I'm going to come by the table at the Quartet Convention and say hello. And I see you guys. Hope everybody listening will go out and down and get this album. I want you to go to the website and get it today. You're going to have a blast listening to it. It's fantastic. All right, we're going to be playing it, and I'll see you guys next week, okay?
God bless you, Natalie.
All right, see you soon. All right, bye-bye.
The country needs the cross.
This land was built on freedom, but still our kids can't pray in school. We used to read the Bible, but now that breaks the rules. Even on our money, it says, in God we trust. It's time we Christians show the world that it still stands true for us.
All across the country needs the cross, a symbol of redemption, and it paid for us all. A statue of liberty came to save a world that's lost. All across the country needs the cross.
Our fathers fought and gave their lives for a flag that waves so proud. But now we burn the stars and stripes. We've let Old Glory down. These laws that break our hearts today were made on Capitol Hill. We need to climb that hill once more, where Jesus' blood was spilled.
All across the country needs the cross, a symbol of redemption, and it paid for us all. A statue of liberty came to save a world that's lost. All across the country needs the cross. All across the country needs the cross, a symbol of redemption, and it paid for us all. A statue of liberty came to save